Wow. And we can begin. Good afternoon, everybody. Um today is Tuesday, March 5th of 2024. This is the Tax Review Board. My name is Melissa Andre, and I'm the Executive Director here. Our category today is water revenue. It is my responsibility to make sure everybody knows to please be aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy. And by continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. This recording will be posted to the Tax Review Board website. With me today is our board chair, Paula Weiss, as well as board members Nancy Cameron and John O'Connor. Paula, I'm going to give it over to you to read in some of the updates, and then I'm going to put in case number 4, which is homes, in order to just get started.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. The Tax Review Board is now in session for March 5th, 2024. I am Paula Weiss, the chair of the board. So our first order of business, looking at our docket, case number 1, Scotts Lane Holdings, LLC. Last 4 digits of the docket, 9280, has been withdrawn. Case number 2, Charmaine Prater. Last 4 digits of the docket, 9618, has been continued, as has case number 5, also Charmaine Prater. Last 4 digits of the docket, 9367. So those are the housekeeping issues, and we are going to, did we lose the? Okay, we're going to turn to case number 4, Lester Homes, 553 North Paxson Street. Last 4 digits of the docket, 9366. Mr. Holmes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. I am Paula Weiss, chair of the Tax Review Board. Could you please state your full name and spell your last name?
Lester Holmes, Holmes.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. We're going to turn to the city now for some preliminary information, then we'll come back to you.
Okay.
Who has this matter for the city? Mr. Peng, you're on mute.
Yeah. Yim Peng represent the city. The witness for this case will be Angela Brockington Long.
Thank you. Ms. Brockington Long, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes, I do. Oh, and I just need one.
Okay, fíjate si se vio.
Pardon me?
Okay.
What?
No, I just had to mute somebody.
Oh, and could you please state your full name and your position with the city?
My name is Angela Brockington Long, and I am with Water Revenue.
Thank you. Mr. Peng, I assume Ms. Brockington Long is going to read in the numbers in dispute.
Yeah, before she does that, I do have a announce a development for this case.
Yes.
The water customer currently is approved of the tap income. So from my understanding, tap income, if the water customer keep paying the income-based tap bills after 24 months, and the whatever debts, pre-existing debts, water debts will be forgiven. So I'd like to ask the water customer if you would like to take that route. This case will be, I'm assuming, we moved.
Go right ahead. All right, Mr. Holmes, city representative is going to speak to you about your involvement in the city's TAP program.
Right.
All right, Mr. Peng.
So, Mr. Holmes, I understand you just got approved of the TAP on February 26, 2024. So for the TAP program, a part of the TAP program is the debt forgiveness. So if you keep paying the TAP income-based TAP bills that each month, and then after approximately 24-month periods afterwards, your pre-existing water debts will be forgiven. So are you still willing to dispute the bill today, or just paying the TAP bills and then later, after a certain amount of time, have the debt forgiven?
Okay, yeah. That sounds reasonable, but how much do I have to pay per month on this? What's the cap or tap?
Yeah, so whatever rate the TAP sets you up with.
Well, you must already have that information. Did you get a letter from the city that you've been approved? I assume there's a letter, Mr. Peng. that goes-
No,
No.
He should be receiving a letter, but from my end, the system is showing his tab is approved.
Okay, do wait, Ms. Brockington, by any chance, do you have on your information what his monthly payment will be based on his TAP approval?
right?
Yeah, not yet. It's not saying that in basis, but it literally was just approved the February 26th. So he'll probably be getting a letter.
Okay, so Mr. Holmes, it's been approved based on your income. No one in our room has the exact number yet, Mr. Peng.
Right. Mhm.
Actually, I think Miriam is from the CAP unit. He might be able to provide some insights on this issue.
Miriam?
Miriam,
Yes, hello?
Yes.
hi, Miriam. Would you be
Yes,
able to provide
Yes,
Mr.
Ms. Warren.
Miriam, state your full name and identify yourself for the record, please.
I can hear you slightly. Can you hear me?
We hear
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Okay. All right, my name is Miriam Scully. I'm represent TAP unit in Water Revenue.
Great. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give today in these matters will be the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Mr. Peng has a question for you.
Okay.
Miriam, can you do you have information for Mr. Holmes concerning his just approved TAP income program?
I don't because I did not have him as, I only have one case today, but I will go in and see what's going on with him because I have this open already.
Terrific.
So-
He just wants to know what he hasn't gotten his approval letter yet. He wants to know what his monthly, if we know what his monthly bill is going to look like.
Oh, okay. I could do that. Give me 1 second. Let me go in.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Holmes, we're going to try and get that information for you.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So just hang tight.
Just give me his you say Holmes, Holmes. What's the first name?
Lester.
Lester.
Lester L. Lester Holmes. Give me 1 second. I'll pull you up. All right. So, okay, I got you. So,
North Paxton.
all right. So you was approved on 2/26/24. The amount that you will be paying each month is $48.47, and you will receive a letter in the mail. Since it was the 26th, you should be getting the letter. If not by this weekend, then by next week you'll be getting the letter stating all your information.
Okay.
When would that be effective? What date? For March or April?
His first payment will probably be in April since we just did this in February.
Mhm.
And this is the end of February it was done. So March bill is probably already calculated. I'm not in the basis 2, so I can't see his bill right now. But most likely this $48.47 will take effect in April.
Okay, so
Not a
Mr. Holmes,
problem.
the amount of money that the TAP program is going to require you to pay is $48.47 per month.
Right.
If you make those payments that'll be flat every month, that's what the payment's going to be. As you continue,
24 months.
Correct, 24 months.
after 24 months, all of the past due debt will have been forgiven, and you will just have your monthly bill going forward with no past debt.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
All right, so hang on. So I think the tax review board decision then is no action needed. And
Ms.
Yes.
Scully, can you confirm that the no action needed from the board will allow him to get on the TAP payment? Because sometimes I think we do a withdrawal from the petitioner.
oh, great. I mean, it will require him to withdraw his petition.
Correct. Ms. Scully?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Does he have to withdraw his petition, or can the board's no action needed suffice for Mr. Holmes to get into the the TAP program.
We don't wanna-
So we want him to withdraw. The only reason why we want him to withdraw, we don't need it to be in the system for the next time when he do his reevaluation, because that will stop the application from going through.
All right, then I'm gonna come back to Mr. Holmes. Will you please acknowledge that you are gonna withdraw your petition for today and that we're not going to go forward with this hearing?
I agree with you that I will withdraw my petition.
Okay, that's fine. That's all we need to know from you. You will get a letter from the Tax Review Board acknowledging that, but you will also be getting a letter from the Water Revenue Bureau with the information regarding your approval for the TAP program.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so hopefully that clears up your issue, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you for letting me.
All right, so have a good day, and we're gonna move on
I'm gonna
to,
put case number 4 in the room.
Can I
That's
say
good.
something real quick before you go?
Sure.
My case was continued, so I don't really need to stay unless you guys need me for any TAP questions. I could stay, but if not,
Mr. Peng?
I just, can I ask Melissa a question? Melissa, what's the next case?
The next case is East Falls Ridge, 422 Ridge Avenue.
Okay, I don't believe I will need Miss Miriam at this point.
okay.
Well,
All
thank you
right,
very much.
thank
for your
you.
help.
What about the other one, 6?
Uh,
I think that's a rental issue, so I'm not,
yeah, I don't think that case was a TAP issue.
Okay, you know what? Why don't I stay? I'll just be in incognito, and then you guys can call on me if you need me.
thank you. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
No
very much.
problem.
All right, and
Thank you.
we're gonna move on now to case number 3, which is, let me see, wait till they get in the room.
Just 1 second, I'm putting them in the room.
Got it.
No problem. Have a seat, keep your voice nice and loud. The person who's talking is in the camera.
Hi.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. We're gonna call, thank you. Please have a seat. And, you know, as long as, please try to speak into the microphone when you do address. My name is Paula Weiss, the Chair of the Tax Review Board, and we are now calling case number 3, East Falls Ridge Avenue Partners, 4225 Ridge Avenue, last 4 digits of the docket 9689. We're going to turn to the petitioners in our hearing room, and could you please identify yourselves for the record
I am Alexis Franklin.
and your position with the East Falls Ridge Avenue Partners?
I'm one of the partners. This is my husband, John Franklin.
Okay. Could each of you please swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
I do. I
I do.
affirm.
Thank you. We're going to turn to the city now to get the information as to the amounts in controversy, and then we will come back to hear from you. Who has-
Okay,
City?
Miss Weiss, may I interject, please? Miriam, what is Miriam's last name, please?
Scully.
All right. Is
All right.
anyone, and Angela, what is Angela's last name, please?
Brockington-Long.
I beg your pardon, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Brockington, Brockington-Long.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm going to turn to the city. Who has this matter for the city?
Yim Peng, I'm representing the city.
Hey, Mr. Peng, can we get the numbers for the record, please?
Sure, the period in question is October 19, 2020 through January 22, 21. The principal is $2,168.72, 0 penalty, 0 lien, and the total is $2,168.72.
Okay, Mr. Peng, any opening remarks?
Yeah, just briefly. From my understanding, the petitioner is disputing a higher than normal usage readings at the property located at 4225 Ridge Avenue. All the readings for this property has been for disputed periods are actual and progressive. There is 2 meter shop visits to the property on both on December 4th and December 9th. However, these
What year?
two
What year?
sorry, 2020. So, however, these 2 meter shop visits, whatever billing adjustment these 2 visits generated has been long reversed. So it's not part of the case. Is right set at the. I'm mentioning it because they're in the middle of the disputed periods, and will come in for other reasons. Might come in for other reasons during the case, but not for any back bills or debit adjustment.
So there's been some adjustment from the original billing. Is that what you're saying?
There was adjustment, but it was reversed. So that there is no adjustment for these for our purpose. There's no adjustment for these 2 visits.
Okay. All right, Mr. Franklin or Ms. Franklin, I'm not sure which one of you wants to give us the information as to why you are here and what you're looking for from this board.
I'm asking for, if the board is so disposed to write off the 216872, I'd just like to do a very brief recitation of the history, if I may. All of you are new. I have appealed this in the past. Between November and December of 2020, there was extensive construction done on Ridge Avenue by both the water department and the gas department. Through that period of time, there were no less than 8 days where the water was shut off repeatedly. We have evidence of problems with meters in the neighborhood, interviewing other neighbors who experienced billing irregularities at that time, as well as problems with water heaters and a variety of other matters related to that. I won't go into those details, but this is the period November to December 2020. The meters were replaced in December, and in December 20th, we received a $15,000 bill. Now, the issue here is the fact that the water department reported that 2,057 gallons a day were used in a property. And Mr. Peng, I think you said something about the daycare center. Is that correct? I wasn't sure what you were alluding to there, if I misunderstood
That
you.
$15,000 bill has been reversed. So if that's your only dispute, then
I'm not finished yet, sir. I'm not finished.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
you
just-
did ask him a question, Mr. Franklin, so he's entitled to answer if you ask him something.
Yes, ma'am. I understand that very clearly.
Okay, continue.
This property averages between 423 and 555 gallons. 2,000 gallons would fill up 3 Olympic swimming pools. We have never used that much. There is a letter in the file from Robert Harker, who, based upon the water department's original recommendation, we thoroughly investigated that. We have never used 2,000 gallons. Mr. Harker inspected the property. There were no toilets, no running water, no problems within the building itself, which we've maintained since 2004. We've paid the prescribed amount every month. And I appreciate the fact that you reversed that, but there is still $2,168. Right now, I paid a bill yesterday. My bill says that I owe $3,006.73. So my recommendation is that the 2168.72 be reversed, and we'll do a reconciliation to find out where the balance of that money comes from, the $838.01. So essentially, problems with the water department on Ridge Avenue, repeated shutoff of that, and also miscalculation in terms of billing at that time. There are 2 excessive bills during that period of time, one for 16, one for 17, but we never, ever, ever used 2,000 gallons of water in this property. It's physically impossible.
So when you say write off the entire amount due for that period of time, are you saying that you don't want to pay any water bill for that year?
No, ma'am, I have paid regularly. We have paid regularly since that period of time. We are current as far as I'm concerned with our water bill. My dispute is on the miscalculation that was done back at that period of time,
Understood.
2168.72.
Right, Mr. Peng?
From my understanding, like I said at the beginning, whatever calculation or back bill generated during those two meter shop visits, which changed meter assembly twice. So there's like 3 sets of meter assemblies. But though the back bill or debit adjustment generated at the time is, from my understanding, is $16,002 and something. They are reversed. So if the dispute was about that bill, it's no action needed.
It's not showing reversed on
That's that's not what they're disputing. They're disputing the entire period.
Uh,
I
we-
got my-
If I can direct your attention to the record, let's go back to 2020. And you'll note on, as I said, the period of time in December, there were repeated water shutoffs, which caused inordinate problems throughout. The water department recommended that we change the meters. We got a $16,000 bill on the 22nd.
But
And
Mr.
then-
Franklin, that's been reversed. That's not an issue
Well,
here. We
there's a-
understand there were
there's a-
issues and problems, but that's gone.
Well,
So
the
the-
17,865 on January 28th has not been reversed. I'm looking at the running balance on the reconciliation account statement that I was given
And when were you given that?
today.
Okay.
This was presented to us when we walked in today.
Mr. Peng?
Just look at the record.
I don't see the $17,000 bill. Ms. Brocknell, can you take a look at the?
I apologize, I can't share my screen, but I can definitely see it. As of January 26, 2021, the total balance was $17,061.79. On January 26, 21, they reversed $696.81, which left a total of $16,364.98. On January 26 again, December 22, 20, they reversed $16,002.54, which brings a total balance of $362.44. That was the balance after the reversals. And then there were bills following that in January, February, March.
If I may, I can share my screen so it's easier. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, I think was the screen shared on the city's basis system?
Yes, I can. Let
We
me
can see it.
see it smaller. Let's see it.
So
Not showing the 17.
Ms. Brocknell, what is the bill on, was the bill on December 22nd, 2020 reversed?
Yes, there were 2 bills reversed. The one on December 22nd was for $16,002.54. And then there was another bill reversed on January 26, 21 for $696.81. So the balance after those reversals was $362.44. That was a total balance on the account.
The
And that was as of December 22nd, 2020.
The account statement, ma'am, with all due respect that I'm reviewing, which was given to me by the water department today, is not matching that.
So you
This is
have incurred normal water
balance on
bills since then.
The balance on January 28th is $1,862.81. According to your records that I'm holding that was handed to me today.
Well, there was a bill generated on December 21, 20 for $803.56. which brought the balance up to $1,166. And then your next bill, January 22, 21. Well, that was reversed.
Ma'am, I'm saying that that $800 bill is inconsistent with the historical records of water usage in this property. The water usage has never exceeded 500 gallons a day, according to your records. Suddenly it's 800, and these inconsistencies exist in the neighborhood. You were shutting off water regularly. Water heaters were damaged, billing irregularities, evidence of problems with meters. Ridge Avenue was a mess with water and gas. We never used $862 worth of water. It's a misreading. And that is my dispute. We have made regular payments per the billing every month since then, what we were billed. And it has consistently been an average of 423 to 555 gallons, depending upon the month and the time of the year. During COVID, of course, it was a little higher because everyone was sheltered at home. We never had 2,000 gallons. We never had 800 gallons, never had over 500 gallons.
The only record I received from Mr. Holmes, the petitioner, are the plumber's report. Let me.
That's what you asked for.
Let me share that.
Mr. Franklin, could you explain to us what kind of property this is?
This is a 5-store, 5-apartment building in the 4200 block of Ridge Avenue in the East Falls neighborhood. It's 2 blocks off of Midvale Avenue. And
You only
Robert,
had two vacancies.
At the
two
time,
existing
yes,
stores,
there
so
were
you only had 2 properties.
that's
that were
right. At
being-
the
that were
time,
using.
yeah, with all there were, now it's 100%, but at the time, there were 2 vacant storefronts and only 2 stores, but all 5 apartments were occupied, which also led to this dispute to begin with. Prior to that, we never used this amount of water, and then this egregious billing and problems with the water department. Mr. Harker, he's a registered plumber. He has since retired, but nevertheless, he's been in the neighborhood. He took care of the property that whole period of time. This recommendation was made by the water department itself, have a plumber come out and validate this. So we had him come out.
So currently, all 5 apartments and all stores are utilized, and our water bill still isn't this high.
So first of all, the city objected to the plumber reports. So this plumber reports, as it states itself, the plumbing examination is done on December 1st, 2020. This report is generated on April 11th, 2022. That's almost 1.5 years after the examination. And the report itself simply says there's no leak, there's no description of whether any test was done, what's the process to determine there's a leakage, why there's no leakage, and it refers to something like
Mr. Peng, with all due respect,
a review of the retail tenants shows no excessive usage. Did he just ask the retail tenants that there's no excessive usage? What review he's done? We have nowhere to be. We cannot know from this report.
We'll note that for the record.
Mr. Peng, Mr. Harker is a local plumber. He's worked on the building the whole period of time.
He has an office
He has
half a block away.
Correct. Now, the fact that it is dated April 11th was for a prior hearing, to be candid with this group. Mr. Harker has worked on this building since we acquired it in 2004. The fact of the matter is, we shortly after this billing started, we're 3 years into this now. It's a little late to be challenging the date of a report.
Mr.
Franklin, we understand that you're upset. We really do. However, we would really like to keep this on a civil basis. All right,
Absolutely.
Mr. Peng is doing his job.
Ms.
You're
Weiss,
doing your job.
absolutely.
We're going to try to do our job. So let's try to remain calm. Okay?
We're very calm right now, absolutely. Yes,
Thank
ma'am. I just am challenging the date and the reference.
That's
to those
fine,
dates.
but we're noting all of those things for the record. The board will accept it for the face value of what it's worth.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Peng, what
Uh,
other
just-
information and evidence are you here to introduce?
Yeah, just one last thing on the report. So in order for the city to accept this report, I would need to talk to the plumber himself, since the report itself is fairly brief, and that's all I had on the report. I'd like to get into my normal questioning. I would like to have some question with the
Yes,
petitioner.
please do.
Uh,
Go
So,
right ahead.
thank you. So, the East Fall Avenue Partner LP, this entity owns the 4225 Ridge Avenue, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
so are both of you a general partner or for the East Fall Ridge Avenue are partners or limited partners? What's your relationship with the partnership?
I'm married to John Franklin. We are partners and partners in the business.
Okay. So you explained this is a rental property, correct?
It's 5 apartments and storefronts, 100% occupied right now. And our
Do
water
you-
bill isn't this high.
Okay, do you have active rental license?
Yes.
So
Taxes are
do you-
paid. Everything is current.
so you said there's five commercial properties and 5 residential units in the property, correct?
Mr. Yang, there is one building, 4225, has 5 storefronts and 5 apartments. 2 levels.
Okay, I just want to get the record clear. So do your organization manage or own any other properties other than this one?
Your business does. but
Yeah, I'm
This is the
sorry.
only
I'm
business
concerned
we own
about
as
the
partners.
and the relevance. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not sure I understand your question.
The relevance of this, Mr. Peng?
Simply assessing whether the petitioner has the capacity to understand all the details of the department, the building. If he manages like many properties, he can have the intimate details of individual properties he manages.
I could address that. We lived in East Falls at this time in 2020. We lived at the top on Henry Avenue. We had a problem with the water department then as well, with our own personal residential water bill, where it spiked and then was reduced. So we're very familiar with obvious flooding, water leaks, pooling. There isn't any of that at this property, and there hasn't been any. It's never been photographed, notified, addressed, because it didn't exist. We're just questioning the spike in the amount of money because it's not existing today, that amount of money. So why did it exist then, is the question.
Okay, I just have one more series of questions for you, and now ask the citizen witness. So at this point, I'd like to do a property survey. So on the residential units,
Mr. Peng,
How-
could we not duplicate the information we already have on the record?
this
So
part, this
There's
one,
5.
asked and answered for some of these questions. Let's kind of, let's try to move on to
Yeah.
new.
okay. So this one's new. So within the 5 apartment units, in general, is there a bathroom per each apartment?
Of course,
Yes.
yes.
Is there a faucet and sink in each one of them?
Yes,
And what about the commercial units? Do they have bathrooms
yes,
similarly structured?
yes,
For residential units, there's a kitchens,
yes.
and how many water faucets in each kitchen?
1 each.
One each. There's showers.
Yes,
Okay. So for the commercial units, there's kitchens. Is there
No.
kitchens? I'm assuming there's no showers.
No
no
showers.
showers.
Is there any for the entire building? Is there any laundry facilities?
No.
No,
To your recollection, do you have any other water using fixtures in this property?
No.
no.
Okay, I have no more question for the petitioner. I'd like to ask some questions for the city witness, Miss Angela Brockton Long.
Okay,
Angela, have you had a chance to review this customer account?
yes,
So according to the system, what kind of property is 4.225 Ridge Avenue?
commercial, residential.
Okay. Where are the bills, where the water bill sent to for this property?
There's a copy here.
The mailing address, the bill sent to?
Yes, give me 1 second. They're sent to 4225 Ridge Avenue, Suite
Okay.
3.
So has there been any, for the last 6 months, was the usage actual or estimated?
Actual.
So what kind of charges appears on the bills for this property from period from November 2020 to January 2022?
Usage, stormwater, and service.
Were the water usage readings actual progressive for the disputed period, November 2020 to January 2022?
Were they actual? Yes.
And progressive,
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what was the period, Mr. K?
November 2020 to January 2022. That's a disputed periods according to the
Okay.
petition.
Yes, go ahead.
So was the reading actual progressive, Ms. Brockton
Yes.
Long?
Yes, it was.
So was any periods estimated?
No,
Is there any zero usage?
no, there isn't.
So let's go to let's talk about the meter shop visit. So did technician go out to this property between November of 2020 and January of 2022?
Yes, they went out twice.
When did they go?
December 4th, 2020 and December 9th, 2020.
What did technician do during these visits?
They changed,
Let's one by one. So what did technician do on December 4th, 2020?
they changed the meter and the ERT.
So what did the technician do on December 9th, 2020?
They changed the meter and the ERT each
So
time.
okay, so the meter or get changed and then get changed again.
They did.
Okay. So for the record, Ms. Brockton Long, what does meter do? What do meter do?
The meter records the water that passes through the meter.
So what does for the board for the record? So what does the ERT stand for?
Electronic receiver transmitter.
So what does this ERT do?
It transmits the reading to the truck and then on to the city.
So that's it transmits the reading recorded by the meter, correct?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Did these two visits result in any billing changes or adjustments that were not subsequently reversed?
No,
Okay. So are the readings from the 3 months periods before the visits of December 2020 substantially different from the readings during and after during under dispute?
no,
So the 3 months before 2020 December 2020 was practically the same pattern as the disputed period, correct?
give me 1 second. Yes, yes, it was.
Have the meter ERT installed in this property on December? Have there any other meter shop visits to the property after December 9th, 2020?
No,
So the meter, the technician installed in December 9th, 2020, still in the property?
yes, it is. Yes,
And no city employee ever touched them since December 9th, 2020?
no.
That's all my questions. So I'd like to make a closing statement on this case.
Well, wait, Mr. Franklin, did you have any questions for Ms. Brockington Law?
I do, ma'am. Thank you. In the there's a notation on the bill called CCFs, and August, September, October of 20. CCF August 26, September 25, October 33, November 84, December 2411. So with all,
2,411.
yeah, so with all due, and then 2057, or anyway, the point being is that 3 months prior to that were significantly different than what transpired November, December, and January of 2020 and 2021. Significant difference.
Your question, I'm sorry.
Did you have any questions for Ms. Brockington Long?
No, ma'am. I just had a
great.
comment.
Okay. Okay. So, Mr. Pang, you're not planning to introduce the account history with the monthly usage?
Okay. Ms. Brockington, was the monthly usage of the disputed period higher than normal?
Can you repeat? I'm sorry, Mr. Pang, repeat that, please.
Was the monthly usage for disputed period higher than normal? Disputed period being November 2020 to January 2022.
It was higher than normal, but the usage following the meter and ERT change for December 9th, 2020 still exhibited high usage. I'm sorry.
So what you're trying to say is high usage existed before the meter shop visits and stayed after meter shop visits, correct?
Yes, there were still high readings. Let's see, July 2021, it was 3,700 cubic feet. September 21, 8,500 cubic feet. October 24, 21, 9,400 cubic feet. January 22, 7,100 cubic feet. And it appears that after that January 2022 reading, the usage did begin to decrease on its own. All these readings were actual. The following reading, February 2022, was 2,800 cubic feet. And that seems to be the average.
So December 4th and December 9th, 2020 meter shop visits are in the middle of the disputed period? Inside the disputed period, not exactly in the middle.
Right, it's inside, yes.
Okay. That's all my questions on that. So may I make a closing at this point?
Yes, please.
A comment, please. Miss Brockington Long gave us I'm sorry, ma'am, if I mispronounced that, gave us an absolutely perfect description of shelter at home and usage related to that. I don't disagree with your recitation. As a matter of fact, it reflects shelter at home very accurately.
All right, so you're not disputing then the other months that may
No,
have been?
ma'am. No, 2021, we know I don't have to go through COVID with everybody.
Okay. Mr. Pang, your closing remarks?
So as the evidence show, these high water usage started before the meter shop visits, and it went away naturally after around this January of 2022 without any action from the city. So in other words, the disputed high usage periods does not correlate to the action taken by the city, namely the 2 meter shop visits in December. The evidence showed the meter assemblies have been placed completely, has been replaced completely 2 times. So there's 3 sets of meter assemblies inside this property, and they all register high usages. And these usages, as Ms. Brockington has testified, are actual usages, which means that these are records of the water passed through the meter. In other words, these are the records of the meter actually used in the property, however it is used, the leak or otherwise. And we know from the testimony, the usage naturally went down around January, February 2022 without any action. So the city's position is these high usages have nothing to do with city's meter assemblies. There's like I said, there's 3 sets of assemblies. They all reported high usages. These usage readings are whatever occurred inside the property and nothing to do with city's positions have nothing to do with city's equipments. They're completely independent of each other. And so also, like the petitioner pointed out, the periods in dispute fall squarely in the COVID period. I mean, it's a common knowledge that in COVID period, people stays in the home a lot and use a lot of utilities. Because we all understand why that is, because the pandemic. And also, this is a Mr. and Mrs. Holmes petition. So it's their burden to prove that city's numbers are wrong. These actual readings recording the water passing through the meter somehow wrong, and then somehow multiple sets of city meters are all wrong. Their recordings are somehow all wrong. This is the petitioner's burden to prove that, and it is city's position that petitioner has a strong opinion on the bills, but did not produce any evidence other than legal conclusions there. And
I have a few questions. Thank you. I have a few questions from Ms. Brockington Long. Can you tell us from the records why the meter and ERT were changed the first time and then the second time?
You're muted.
Oh,
Ms. Brockington Long.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a reason why they were changed because there's no estimated usage. They just, I don't know, aside for possibly the high usage, but yeah, they just changed them each time.
All right, and I have one other question for you. When you gave us the numbers at the beginning, you told us that there was no penalty due against this bill. Can you see, however, that along the way through this time period, that as they made payments, money was applied to penalties?
Right. Okay. Right now, they do have penalties for the total amount due on the account, which is $2,766.07. There are penalties on that amount in the amount of $146.71.
And are there penalties through this period into the present that were actually paid from their payments, deducted from their payments?
Let's see, I have some waivers. Well, you know, their payments have been somewhat inconsistent, I have to say. So,
But were penalty amounts paid?
yeah, yes, it's throughout some points.
Okay.
Some were paid and then they accrued more, and but yes.
Okay. All right, I don't have any other questions. My fellow board members, any questions at this point?
None
No.
for me.
All right, so we are gonna step aside as a board to deliberate. Everyone else just stay where you are, and we will come back.
Everybody just
You
hold
would
tight.
like us to
Just
wait?
stay where you are, Mr. Franklin. We're gonna leave.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Virtually.
Right, actually, we're gonna leave.
Who is OC? Who's that? It's other people. Why did they identify themselves? Bad procedure. I'm sorry. Of course. Yes,
And are they inconsistent?
they're correct.
They're not inconsistent. They're not inconsistent.
No.
You paid every month.
Yes,
So what did you mean by inconsistent? John,
I'm sorry.
what did they mean by inconsistent then?
I'm afraid I do not understand that comment.
Do you have them there? May I look at them?
There have been, I don't understand the use of the term inconsistent.
Do you have them there?
Yes, I do.
Can I see them?
Of course. In the original package is the payment schedule, and also on our records are the payment schedules as well.
Okay.
So you can see not only the billing amount on this grid here, the first amount is the billed amount, service charge, stormwater,
Right.
and then the payment that was made.
Where's the payment line?
The payment line is under monthly total. Actually started showing it here, the payment 662.40, 278. So the amounts are inconsistent, 22, and then it goes from 1713 to 6, and then it has the COVID.
So roughly you're paying us about every month.
Yes, so the
So I
amount,
paid consistently for every month.
the amount that was billed was paid every month.
Right. So inconsistent meaning the penalty you didn't pay?
I don't
If you're
know.
disputing it, it shouldn't be.
And also in the third hearing, there was a notice here that all penalties and
Yeah, but then you're accumulating
so,
more.
obviously, yes.
Yeah. It's probably a different department. That's fine. Here's the part I don't understand. This is your bill amount, right?
Right.
And you paid that?
Actually, I think I paid the penalty that month. the late
Oh,
fee. I just wanted to, I think we should just take this apart one more time.
I'm gonna have to let you put it in
What's
right
that?
now. I think they're deliberating.
Well, let them deliberate.
So maybe she means you inconsistently paid the penalties. But look, in that year, you paid 1, 2,
You know,
3,
the one thing
4,
that I didn't
5,
do on
6.
this grid is put down the payment date, like when we paid them. Because
Oh.
I have those on all the other accounts. People. I don't know, I just procedurally don't understand why they don't all identify themselves.
Said that.
What's that?
You did say that already once. Okay.
Yeah,
so
right,
now
well,
it's done.
Judicial proceedings usually
It's done.
accounts for that.
Yeah.
I understand. It's a big file.
Probably.
I think, I know, it's right. I think Bob Jr. might still be there.
That's his son.
Yeah, I think they put the
Yeah,
building
that's
up
him.
for sale a while ago.
Next to the barber shop, right?
He was down on the other corner. He owned that was it Calumet Street, across from the gas station.
I just remember a sign outside. Went to school with Harry McDermott, I remember too.
That's right.
Local dentist.
Paula, everyone is back.
Back. This tax review board is back in session. We have reviewed all the information, the evidence presented by both parties. We do have a decision, but we have a question preliminarily that Ms. Andre is going to ask of the city before we
So Ms.
finish.
Brockington Long, in the account statement in the month of January of 2021, it does look like the petitioners were billed twice. Once on 1/26/2021 for $696, then on 1/28 for $803.56, then again on 1/28 for $696.81, and then that last $696.81 was reversed. But it does indicate that they were charged twice for the month of January 2021. Can you explain
Okay.
that?
Let me go back.
Page 3 of the account summary.
Okay. All right, so I do see the first, okay, 126.21, and then it was reversed. They also reversed the 16,000. Then on January 28th, I do see the 803, and that covers November 20th to 2021, the 803. Okay, then I see the January, okay, this is. Okay, and so the January 22nd, 2021, and that covers January 22/20 to January 22/21. Now let me see the first one.
Where's that?
Okay, let me just go back to the first one. Yeah. Okay, it looks like it was put on, then reversed, and then put back on. So, I don't think it was a double. You
Well,
see,
it's,
Okay,
my
go ahead.
question is, they were charged for, on 1/26 of 2021, $696. And then they were
Right.
charged 2 days later on 1/28, $803. Was that a rebill of another month, or was that the same month?
Okay, let me go back. Okay,
Did you pay for those?
the 803, that is for November 20th to December 21. And right, December, wait, what was the first one?
Just have the 630, 868.
Okay, so the 803, the December 21, okay, that's for November 20th to December 21. That's that the January 28th.
Yeah,
These look like yes, they definitely look like rebills because the same day it was put on but it was for January 22, the 696, and that is for December 22/20 to January 21.
okay, so it was for 2 separate months.
There's 2 separate periods, yes. Yes, 2 separate
It was
periods.
a rebill of the 12/22 bill.
Yes, it's a rebill.
Okay,
It's a
thank you.
rebill of the 12, okay.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, Paula, that's fine. Oh, you're on mute, Paula.
Sorry. All right, so we did consider all of the information provided by both parties. We did have concerns about the billings for the November, December, January period in 2020 heading into 2021. And therefore, it is the decision of the Tax Review Board to direct the Water Revenue Bureau to adjust usage for the period 11/19/20, 1/22/21, and reduce the usage billed to 2,500 cubic feet per month, including that 11/19/2020 usage amount. And that any penalties attributed for the time period in dispute will be abated. So that, Mrs. Franklin, brings the usage for that period of time down to more in keeping with what your general usage is for the pre and post periods of time, 2,500 cubic feet per month, as opposed to, I think one of them was 8,400, one of them was 8,800. You will get a letter from the Tax Review Board within 2 weeks with that decision. It will take, I believe, approximately 60 days to get an adjusted bill from the Water Revenue Bureau. And you will then have the opportunity to arrange installments with the Revenue Department if that's how you want, if there's a balance that you want to address that way. And
So,
that,
do you understand the abated amount?
I don't, I'll wait for the bill.
I'm sorry, I can't, we can't do the math in terms of what the dollar amount is, but it does greatly reduce the amount of usage that you were billed for initially, and the bill will reflect that.
Okay,
Okay, so thank you very much for coming in.
I'm John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameradiner, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur.
1 second, Ms. Brockington Long, you had a question?
I did, I'm sorry. Could you just repeat the time period for me again?
Yes, beginning with the reading on 11/19/20 through the reading on 1/22/2021. Those readings will be reduced to 2,500 cubic feet per month.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you, everyone, and we're gonna move on to our next case.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They are on the web.
On Zoom, right?
I'm just
Case
gonna
number.
close out that room. I'll be right back.
Got it. So we are going to move on to case number 6, 3001 Hellerman Street, and last 4 digits of the docket 9860. Mr. Dachi is on the call, and I believe his son also. Did we lose him?
No, he's there.
Oh, there you are. Okay. And which one of you is going to actually speak for us?
So I'm here to translate if my dad needs help. I mean, he speaks English. He just sometimes could get hung up to stuff. So I can help
All right, so, Mr. Dodsey, are you ready for us? You need to put you're on mute. You need to unmute yourself. You need to tell your dad to unmute himself.
I think you guys unmuted him or no?
No, he's muted.
Give me 1 second, please.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Dodsey, can you hear me? We can't hear you.
Is he not?
He's not
Because you guys unmuted me and I just unmuted myself.
Where'd Melissa go? I cannot. I'm not sure. I guess I'm questioning whether he can even hear us because he's not responding. Mr. Peng, you're on mute.
So I have some preliminary matter to address this case. I believe this case might not be needed to go forward at this moment.
All right, so
But we still need to have him unmuted,
yeah,
don't we?
we do. Well, all right, Mr. Dodsey, we're going to go forward at the moment and just hear what the city representative has to say, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Peng.
So at this moment, the water account is with Mr. Lin Yan. The Fadil Dashi, Mr. Fadil Dashi is a previous owner of this property. He still have the right to dispute the amount he paid, obviously, because the MCTLA would allow the city to held the water bills generated during his ownership personally liable. However, the current petition is in the bill dispute posture. Since this amount is already paid, either by Mr. Dachi himself or through from the proceeds of the sale of the property, it doesn't change the fact that the posture currently is in refund posture, and this currently is a bill dispute case. The city position is petitioner should file refund request with the city's revenue first, and then if eventually the case came back in front of this board, then the board should hear the case then.
Okay.
Okay, I think he's on now. We have him.
All right, Mr. Dodsey, can you say something so we can see if we can hear you?
Yes, I hear you now.
Okay. I want to swear you in and we're going to have a conversation about the bill that you're disputing. So could you state your full name for the record, please?
My first name is Fadil, Fadil, and last name Dajti.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. So the city's representative has just informed us that it's his information that you have sold this property. Is that correct?
September 25, 2023.
2023. And at that time, was this bill paid to the best of your knowledge?
Well, I continue paid every month, just total current charge.
The bill that you're disputing, was that bill paid?
The bill got paid because I get the house sold, and the title company, they collect 4,800 something for this dispute, and after 2 weeks they send me around 1,200. I'm not sure that they collect for the disputes 3,500 or something, right close to 3,600.
Okay, for the period of time when you were the owner.
Yes.
Okay, and you want that money refunded, is that correct?
I got a phone call from attorney from water department a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, I believe, but not less than 2 weeks. And the guy, he asked me, do you request to refund the bill? I said, of course, because I am disagree this amount they charge me for 2 months around 3,600. I cannot pay water. I cannot pay gas for that amount, not water, for 2 months.
Okay, so, sorry that you were waiting all of this time. The way this works is you need to request a refund from the Revenue Department rather than come here first.
I'm sorry.
Okay, yes.
Can you repeat it again?
Okay, so, there's a process for requesting a refund
Okay.
that needs to happen first before this board can actually review or take any action if in fact the refund gets denied, because we don't know. So there is a refund process to ask for the money to be returned. And that needs to happen, as I said, before this board can take any notice or jurisdiction. When was this filed? On the other hand, let me talk to my board. This was filed
In
in
June.
May of 2022 and not sold until September of 2023. Ms. Andre, what was the process? Where was this? Did this have a prior master hearing or?
Many prior hearings. I'm going to take the time to read this in because this was there were a lot of missed hearings by Mr. Zihadi. So as you had already stated, he filed this petition in June of 2022. His first hearing was then scheduled November 21st of 2022. A continuance was given for that case. Then it was rescheduled for March of 2023. The petitioner failed to appear. He requested a continuance, I believe, for March 20th. So yeah, we gave him another hearing. That was on, hold on, this is the same one. We gave him another hearing, then it was rescheduled for September 18th of 2023. He failed to appear for that case as well. And then because of the 2 failures to appear in a row, that is why this case is before the board.
And so I understand everything that you just explained. Failing to appear, and I'm sorry.
All right, so if you're going to testify, sir, I need to have your full name and I need to swear you in.
Sure. My name is Olsi Daiki.
Okay, Dashi, and do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go right ahead.
So, hearing the information that it was just spoken on, failing to apply on the hearing dates, that I can say for sure it's not true at some level, because last hearing that we had, and I was on the same Zoom call myself, that it was set up with the wrong department. I have emails going back and forth with the board revenue for literally over a year myself that I got involved to try to help them out. We had the hearing, we all got on the Zoom, and the gentleman, I'm not gonna say the name because I don't recall the person's name, but the Zoom meeting that was set up for his case was a completely different meeting set up. It was for taxes, not for water issues. Then that meeting was left and we were told to appeal again, which we did. We sent a letter via email. Then we didn't get no response. Then we sent a letter, the physical letter my dad signed and returned. That's how we got this meeting this time around.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I was on the Zoom. It was actually the first time I've ever do this because I've never been there. So, I myself was actually on the Zoom, and the gentleman that was there told me that we are in the wrong Zoom. This is not for water. It was for tax. Something was taxes. And I said, no, that's not what that's not what we're trying to resolve. We have an issue with the water bill a while back. The house now is sold, And obviously when my dad sold the house, they kept the money because he owed the bill, which was totally fine. We're not trying to dispute why the money was held. We just think there was held too much of it. But what if they denied you?
Okay.
And I have all the emails because that's one thing that like I said, I never done this. I'm even having a hard time speaking. That's like, so I have all the emails and I actually like followed up ever since I got involved. I was following up via email because every time we try to do it over the phone, it was just so hard to get a hold of anybody. And which is fine,
Okay.
but
We appreciate your persistence. But we still.
Can I say something again?
Yes.
After the dispute for the October, November, I got appointment from water department. They asked me, do you want to check to send to a technician to check the meter? The technician came and he changed the meter. I didn't have any complaint after meter change. And
Okay,
I did
well,
pay.
we're not getting into that right now.
Right.
Concern is that,
Okay.
yeah, but I understand what you're saying, but our bigger concern is that the bill is paid and there is a refund
I'm
process.
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but again, all these efforts that I've been putting in to help him. If I was told at any point in time that listen, you have to do this procedure first before you can get on the Zoom with the board, then I would have done so. But
No, I understand. I'm not saying that this was anybody's fault. John, Nancy?
It sounds like he has to proceed and file a refund though, right? There's nothing we can do at this point.
I think that's where it needs to go.
I would agree.
All right. So
okay.
we're going to, I guess, Melissa, no action needed at this time?
Yeah, in order for him to file the refund petition with the Department of Revenue.
All right, and can you give him the info while he's, or Mr. Peng, or can we give Mr. Dachi the information as to how to go about applying for the refund before we make?
I can ask for that information, send him email. If Ms. Dachi can provide me his email address.
All right, I guess you could put it in the chat. Mr. Dachi, can you do that? Put your email address in the chat and Mr. Peng will email you the information you need to proceed. Can I get concurrence from the board that we're going to move this right now? No action needed?
Yes, John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy?
Nancy Cameriner, I concur.
And I am sorry that you waited all this time. We had no way of knowing until we called your case that was where you stood with this. But we will provide, Mr. Peng will provide you with the information you need. And you can apply for the refund. If the refund is denied, then you will have the opportunity to come back in front of this board. And you will get a letter from the tax review board in about 2 weeks with that decision. So thank you very much for your patience. I appreciate that you waited quite a lengthy amount of time.
That's okay. I just texted the email to you guys. Did you guys get it?
In the chat, hold on.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
Okay.
Yes, we got it.
If you guys could please CC me on it as well, I would appreciate it.
So this is your dad's email? And or both, yeah, there are 2 emails here. Is that, well,
Yeah,
Mr. Peng, both emails should
Yeah, I
have.
wrote both emails down. I'm assuming.
Okay, so yes, you'll get both emails. We'll get the information from Mr. Peng. And Mr. Peng, could you put your email in the chat as well for Mr. Dodgety to have? And then he'll be able to reach, he'll know that he can reach you as well.
So, Ms. Dachi, here's my email.
All right. Okay, so this matter is going to be closed for the time being. Thank you for waiting. I think that concludes our calendar for today. And the tax review board is adjourned. Thank you all. Oh, Mr. Peng. All right, you hang on.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Bye now. Have a good rest of the day.
Did he leave?
Who?
Mr. Payne? Oh, Mr. Payne. Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna say something?
Now let us wait for Mr. Dodge to hang up. There we go. In the future, though, could you bring something like that to our attention earlier on in the hearing? Because they really didn't have to wait an hour and a half to hear that
Yeah.
we were not going to hear the case. So, feel free to break in if
Do we
there's
get
something that
email?
we need to know ahead of time so that people don't have to wait if
Yeah,
we're not going to hear the case.
yeah, I'll do that in the future. I thought, like,
Okay.
I just need to follow the order of the case.
Not if
Yeah,
you have
no.
information like that.
Yeah,
Yes, you
'cause
can
they didn't,
email
I mean, we would have let them go at 2:00. They didn't need to sit around.
Melissa always schedules them depending upon when they come or when there's an appropriate time for them to show up. So if you know before the hearing actually starts, that's the best time with something like this, so that the order of presenting is taking into account some of those things.
Just
I
shoot me an
understand.
email,
So
Mr. Payne, okay?
yeah, next time I'll shoot you an email if I find
Something
some
like
cases
this.
might not need to go for.
Thank you. That would be
Thank you.
great. All right. Thank you all.
everyone.
Anything else?
Bye-bye. See you later this week.
Bye, everyone.
Yep. All right. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
Lisa.
Thank you, bye-bye.